Dreamscape presents Sunshine and Bullets by Coralee June. Narrated by Joe Raylan and Benjamin D. Walker.
Prologue. Callum. The club Gabriel picked for our annual meeting was different than his usual preferences. Over the years, I'd noticed the clubs he chose grew progressively upscale, each venue more lavish than the last. This time, it was a red brick building hidden in the shadows of Harlem, but designed with posh comfort in mind. I didn't have to fight a line of drunks to get inside. When I gave the bouncer my name, he immediately fumbled to unclasp the gold chain in front of the door, allowing me in. It was busy enough to slip past the crowd unnoticed, but not too overcrowded, which meant we could speak comfortably. Being seen with a federal agent was bad for business, as Gabriel liked to say, so we had to be careful. I'd taken the day off of work and driven from D.C. to get here, but we'd done this every year. I wasn't exactly sure when we became friends, or even if that's what we were. I represented everything Gabriel hated about this world. Despite being a federal agent and bound to the law, I still met with one of the biggest, baddest crime bosses once a year. All because of a girl. Our meetings were always quiet. We'd sit in a booth at whatever bar he deemed appropriate while giving each other understanding glances. Most years, we sipped sunshine whiskey and wordlessly reminisced. The cheap liquid tasted like shit, but we didn't drink it for the flavor. We drank it to pay homage to the girl that brought us together. My bond with Gabriel and the Bullets was a curse. I loved her, and she loved them. This year, he was running late, which I expected. His empire was growing rapidly. The bigger he got, the more enemies he made. Just because I upheld the law didn't mean I wanted anything to happen to him. I'd even leaked a tip that he was spotted in Texas, hoping it would direct the FBI's attention elsewhere for a bit. He walked through the large wooden door of the club, bypassing the attendant without a second glance. Two of his men flanked him, one on each side, and it was odd seeing him in a suit that probably cost more than I made in a month. His Rolex shimmered under the lights of the piano bar, and his tie was subtle, yet stylish. I stood. Although our meetings were rare and far between, I knew the drill. The man on his left, who had a tattoo the size of my fist around his neck, stepped forward and began patting me down. He checked for wires, and when his hand landed on my duty gun, I reluctantly pulled it from my belt and handed it to him. I understood why the pat-down was necessary, but it didn't mean I had to like it. I hadn't been without my gun since I became a public servant 6 years ago. It was an extension of me, a security blanket of gun smoke and metal. Once Tattoo Neck determined that I was safe, Gabriel gestured toward the booth, and we sat. "Hey, Callum," Gabriel said. It was a shitty greeting, but I accepted it all the same. Neither of us wanted to be here. We were friends, maybe, but without her, everything felt empty. She was the glue that bonded us together. The waitress brought over our glasses, and Gabriel downed his drink in one steady gulp. He didn't wince as the 90 proof slid down his throat, and when his glass was empty, Gabriel lifted his index finger to indicate that he wanted another. Usually we at least pretended to exchange polite conversation, but not today. "I have a lead," I said before taking a sip of my drink. The amber liquid burned in my chest. "You always have a lead," Gabriel replied. He wasn't wrong. Since Sunshine disappeared, I'd been clinging to whatever information I could find. "But this one's good," I tried to explain. I knew it in my gut that I was close to finding her. I expected Gabriel to ask questions about my information, but instead, he surprised me. "Why do you think she ran?" I took another sip of whiskey while taking a moment to gather my thoughts. Although we weren't close, at least not in a conventional way, Gabriel could still dig up my deepest insecurities. Had he not gone down the path of crime, he would have made it.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?